Verse 17 of the 7th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew is the wrap-up, really, in many ways, of the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus has been warning against wolves in sheep's clothing. Of course, such people can be eloquent, persuasive, but he gives the litmus test that by their fruits you will know them. And, of course, he points out that just as in nature a bad tree is not going to produce good fruit, so it is in the case of our observation of those who presume to engage in ministry. So that's really the essential point here. We have hutos, an indeclinable adverb. It means thus. Pan, from pan, pasa, pan. This is the word for all. In the plural, it's all or every. So every, singular, dendron, this is the word for tree, of course, nominative, neuter noun, so every tree, and then the modifier of it, the adjective agathon, which is also in the nominative here, and is, of course, describing the tree, and notice it's using the word agathos, which is the word for morally good, a little bit more of a narrow sense of good. So there is a sense in which the metaphor is being extended, of course, to moral qualities, which is the sense here. So thus every morally good tree, so to speak. And then the direct object here in the accusative plural, karpus, this is fruit, and it's the object of the verb poie, to make or to do. So every good morally good tree produces, makes, karpus, good fruit. This is the plural. We might say fruits, but of course in English that's a little less likely. But notice here the word for good is kalous, which would be more the idea of good as in beautiful or attractive. So that which is morally good, in a sense, produces that which is attractive aesthetically, would be the notion. Of course, it's certainly true, not only in some kind of metaphorical sense in nature, but much more in terms of human interactions and human behavior. So every good tree will produce good fruit, and then the corollary to it, to, this is the, of course, the nominative neuter article, the, postpositive da, sapron. This is the word for, it's an adjective. It means corrupt, it means worthless. Rotten is the idea, something like if termites had eaten away wood or something, you might say the result would be something along those lines. So every corrupt or worthless or rotten dendron, tree, same word here, karpus, the plural of the accusative of karpos, which means fruit, ponerus, but notice now again we have a moral idea. This is not kakus, which would mean bad, sort of in the sense of ugly or not attractive, but this means morally evil, a more narrow sense of it. So a tree that is rotten at the core is going to produce that which is ugly in terms of its features. Of course, we might see expressions of that in all kinds of areas in human existence, including in art and so on. But here Jesus is simply making the point that moral rectitude is going to result in beautiful effects. Poie, same word we had earlier, same as this, which means to make or to do. So it's a fundamental axiom, of course, of human observation and behavior that we have morally good things produce attractive effects, and the corollary is the same, standing in contrast to it, that which is morally destitute is going to produce those things that are not attractive but are in fact fundamentally ugly and appear to be therefore morally corrupt.